Wow, it's better.
Top 10s.
Wow, it's better.
Top 10s.
Wow, it's better.
Top 10s. Show business partners.
Wow, it's better.
Show business partners. Punch in the face. Listen to ShowBizz or boxing. What's better?
What's better? All boxing. What's better? Listen to ShowBizz.
What's better?
No kicks.
No kicks. What's better?
Wow, it's better. Listen to ShowBizz.
Or boxing.
What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz the adult. Alright, man, let's talk some Hard Knock Nights. I know you haven't heard about the game in a minute, so let's discuss some of it. I know it's been a little quiet. It's been a little quiet. So let's talk some Hard Knock Nights. The most important thing that everyone should be concerned about is gameplay, right? I mean, we love the sport of boxing, and gameplay is going to be what keeps any video game alive, right? That was the great thing about Fight Night, okay? So it's been almost a decade and we're still begging for that game. So Fight Night, what you doing, man? Move your feet. So anyway, gameplay. Well, the first thing I want to say to describe Hard Knock Nights, and I can't say too much, right? But I can say it will not be Fight Night. All right, and this is why. Fight Night, yes, it was pretty much monopolizing the boxing industry, right? They had all the licensed boxers and there wasn't too much competition. So when you think of a boxing game, the one game you do think about is Fight Night, right? Because, I mean, they pretty much set the blueprint. Well, we're not going to follow that blueprint because we think it's over a decade ago, right? So let's start. Let's not approach it as we're making a boxing game, so let's look at a boxing game and see how a boxing game should be. No, what we're doing is we're going to go to the fights, study boxing, right? I mean, like I said, the developers are boxing fans, so we're going to go to the fights, feel the atmosphere, and say, how can we have a game that represents that? Okay, what are the good things about boxing? What are the good things about the sport that we can grab and borrow and implement into a boxing video game? So that's what we're doing. We're taking Fight Night away. We're pushing it to the side, okay, or Prize Fighter or Ready to Rumble or Mike Tyson's Punch Out. We're not looking at that. We're looking at the sport and see if we can represent that in a video game, especially all the good things that makes it great. So when we think about Fight Night, let's deconstruct Fight Night because I get a lot of questions in regards to, hey man, make it like Fight Night. So I just want to answer those things and respond to those things. There's things about Fight Night that is very good. There's things about Fight Night gameplay that is not so good. One being the fact that anyone would want to right hand spam or sidestep uppercut spam. The fact that you would even want to do that means that the game is giving you the motivation, or it makes you feel like it behooves you to spam because you get rewarded. You definitely don't want to implement that or replicate that in a new game. Another thing is styles, okay? So like if you look at Roy Jones had a signature style, but he never threw a punch like this. Right? So you just want to make sure that the games now that you implement, at least what Canadap Studio will be developing, doesn't have those type of dings, okay? So the approach to the gameplay is mostly a replication of what you see at the fights. One of the fights that we will be attending is the Amir Khan and Samuel Vargas fight. Now, here's the announcement. Samuel Vargas has agreed to be a fighter in our game, Hard Knock Nights Live. Okay, so Samuel Vargas will be there, so we're going to have to attend that fight. Check out Samuel Vargas. Who is he in the ring? Okay, if you don't know Samuel Vargas, he fought Errol Spence. He fought Danny Garcia, okay? He holds a belt right now, an NABO belt, I believe. And he's doing his thing. He's based out of Canada, okay? And I attended the Samuel Vargas fight when I announced that we will be developing Hard Knock Nights live. So that was the fight I was at. And we're going to go to another one of his fights, the big one against Amir Khan, and see the atmosphere in a bigger fight, see how he is in his corner, see how he works during tough times, see what he, how he thinks, how he approached the fighting game, and we're going to do that with many fighters, okay? We're going to do that with many bouts, not just for that fighter in particular, but just look at the blood, sweat, and tears, the atmosphere, and the culture of everything, and see if we can replicate that. Now, I've been to fights before. Of course, I watched boxing my entire life, but never from a developer standpoint, okay? So we're making sure that we're doing that and try to replicate that in the game. Of course, it will be in the UK. And the man in the UK is Eddie Hearn. So put a pin in that. That just remind me, I have been making some videos. About Anthony Joshua being a coward. And Eddie Hearn, I know that's your boy. So I'm going to be in the UK in September for that bout. You got anything to say, holla at me. See, our idea is for it to always be growing, okay? So we will, when the game comes out, that's not the official roster, all right? So, but we do have a stable of boxers right now, but I can't release them. But I do want to announce, since the fight is coming up, that Samuel Vargas, if you looked at Fight Night and you looked at Muhammad Ali, okay, you kind of was dinged for going backwards, all right? I mean, you were fine, you were penalized for going backwards with your stamina. And that made Muhammad Ali the worst fighter to select in Fight Night when he's the greatest heavyweight, one of the best boxers to ever box, okay? He's the greatest of all time, but he's the worst in the game, all right? Also, the way he moved his feet was almost identical to Sugar Ray Leonard. We don't want those things, okay? So, okay, for example, if you say, let's take Samuel Vargas. Samuel Vargas is a boxer puncher, and he's a pressure fighter, all right? But he's a pressure fighter different than Sean Porter is a pressure fighter. You wouldn't want both of those guys to have the same style because they're pressure fighters, right? So I'm just saying that to say, as far as the gameplay, Hard Knock Nights is approaching it in a very innovative way, a very different way. It's something to really be excited about. So I just wanted to drop by, let you know that we're definitely aggressively developing Hard Knock Nights. I wanted to let you know that Samuel Vargas will be in the game, and Canadapp Studio will be present at the fight in the UK against Amir Khan and Samuel Vargas. Look out for more news from Canadapp Studio and Hard Knock Nights. Make sure that you go to hardknocknights.live to subscribe and be one of the 5,000 founders, and you can go ahead and compete for the best. Oh, and help us develop the game. So in December, when we drop that beta, make sure that you're one of the 5,000 founders. ShowBizz the adult.